What's going on? I'm sitting here with Cam, who is an incredible new real estate investor. In his first year of real estate investing, he has added over $650,000 to his net worth. That's crazy. So in this video, we're gonna go into the details and the steps and the mindset that took him to that next level. See you in a second. As I said earlier, sitting here with Cam, who in his first year has added over $686,000 to his net worth. He's done that through buying houses and through adding rentals. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about how the heck he did it, because if he did it, I want you to do the same thing. So Cam, how's this first year been? We're sitting at almost a year. Tell me a little bit about your first year. It's been pretty crazy, no?
Yeah, no, it has been absolutely crazy. In the last year, I have bought over 45 houses, some to wholesale.
Hold on, how many houses?
Over 45 houses.
That's almost a house a week.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
I think it's probably because of the mustache.
It's the mustache. You walk into a house to a buyer and you show this thing off and they're like, hey, give me a price. I am selling you my house because that thing is so thick, full, luscious, and beautiful.
So that's all we have for you today. Grow a mustache and you'll be golden. You'll add at least $500,000 to your net worth in the first year. Okay, so realistically, you bought 45 houses in a year. That's incredible. Yeah. So talk me through that. How'd you do that?
So a bunch of them have been we've wholesaled some of them, we've flipped some of them, and then my wife and I have kept quite a few of them as rentals for our own portfolio. So we're at 13 for our own portfolio, rental properties, but everything else we've either flipped or we've wholesaled.
So you've been able to add long-term net worth with your rental properties, which is, I always preach, that generational wealth thing that happens through owning rental properties, not necessarily wholesaling or flipping. It's pretty hard to create generational wealth doing that. So Cam is smart. He does both. I think that's important to note, is Cam does the short-term flips and wholesales to get the active income. Then he's also building a rental portfolio on the side that's adding to his net worth and creating long-term generational wealth. That's kind of your game plan, right?
Yeah, it is exactly what our game plan is. So with the 13 that we currently own, we have an equity over $30,000 on every single one of them. One of them we have $80,000 in equity on. Most of them are over $40,000 in equity, and then a couple of them are right around that $30,000 mark. But there's not one of them that we have less than $30,000 in equity in. And we've done that through buying them right, buying them at the right price. And so that goes back to wholesaling and flipping. So the ones that are probably the best deals we keep for ourselves, and everything else we wholesale. But the best deals we try and keep for ourselves. So we buy them at a really low price. We put money into them to rehab them, and then we refinance them. So we essentially do the BRRRR method to be able to build that out.
And then videos up here on the BRRRR method that pop up here that shows you the BRRRR method, and a lot better example, and a guy without a mustache. Go through that video, so it can show you that video. So getting caught up, so Cam's done a lot of wholesaling, which is when you buy a house or get it under contract and sell that contract to somebody else without having to touch it. So wholesaling is super powerful. That's been probably, I think the math's around 30 of those which you've wholesaled last year. And the rest of them you've kept as rentals. So how the heck did you do that? How have you done that? Let's go over the top 3 reasons. There might be a bonus one in there if you stay tuned till the end. And actually, if you stay tuned till the end, give you a chance to win a prize worth $10,000. You ready to hear about that here in a minute?
I don't even know this. I'm in for this.
All righty, so let's
$690,000 in my net worth, you know?
There you go. All right, so let's talk about why you think you've been able to accomplish so freaking much in your first year, which is insane. I mean, this is way more than I did in my first year. So what is the first thing you think that has helped you accomplish what you've accomplished?
The very first thing, easy, is our network.
There's network equals net worth.
Yes, network is your net worth. That feels super cliche and dumb saying, but it's so true. Is the very first thing that I did is when I moved back here from Colorado, is I got involved with people that were in real estate, and not just people that owned 1 or 2 rental properties, but people that owned 100+ rental properties.
Took me out to breakfast.
Yes, I took Sam out to breakfast. I was like, I just want to know everything. And then I started going to all of these meetups throughout the St. Louis city, meeting up with other investors, learning how you do it, because at first I thought that I was going to buy a property a year for the next 10 years, and now I've bought 45, and 7 or 8 months, you know? And so, but at first it was, I'm just gonna buy a property a year for the next 10 years. And, but I learned all of that from networking with people. And then on top of that, finding money, because we don't have the money to buy 45 houses.
Finding money. That's part of networking.
Well, that's part of networking is I never knew that I could just leverage other people's money to buy the houses, and then on the refinance, take all that money back and pay them for it.
I think that's important. So on these 45 houses, how much of your own money have you used? Obviously, the wholesales you haven't used any, or we take it down and sell it, but.
Yeah, I haven't used a penny. Well, that's not true. Our very first house we flipped down in Tower Grove, the Shaw neighborhood. We put 20% down and we did the conventional route. So that one we used our own money to flip it, but we ended up making all of that back plus about 33 or 34 grand on the back end. But outside of that, we have not used a penny of our own money for the down payments, for the purchase price, for the rehabs. We've used other people's money for all of that.
Yeah, so I preach this all the time on all the platforms here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. I preach that it can be done without using any of your own money. And everyone says, what's the first thing I should do? And I always say this without, he just lived it, but go meet people in the industry, go to your local meetups, go to meetup.com and type in real estate investing group. And on there, they're promoting their virtual ones right now, but there's virtual and in-person meetings that real estate investors meet every single month. And then also join local real estate investing Facebook groups. And Cam is proof that if you do that and take action, which we'll get into the next step here in a second, you do that, it can be done, because he's not the brightest bulb in the box, and look what he's done. So if you got half a brain, you'll do even more than he's done.
Yeah, 100%. You guys could 100% do more than I've done, because I am not very smart. I am a communications major. I'm a communications major, and I'm doing this. So, but the stash does help.
He's selling himself short. He's crushing it. So,
but real quick about other people's money, we've used all 3 different options. And there's probably more than 3 different options,
but 3 main ones.
We've used private money for houses. We have used bank money for houses, and we have used hard money for houses. And so you can do them all. Right now we have 3 projects going on and 1 under contract, and 2 of them are bank money, 1 is private money, and 1 is hard money. So we're using all of those resources at the same time to accomplish our goals.
Awesome. So drive that one home. I'll end it. We'll cap it, and we'll go on to the second thing that you think has been the biggest driver for you. And to drive that one home is just grow your network. Get as many contacts as you can in the industry. Line up your funding as part of your network, lining up multiple funding sources. You can find contractors, and then finding other wholesalers and connectors and people you can buy houses from. You can do all that by growing your network and going to those groups that I talked about, those meetups, and going online on Facebook and just getting involved, because one good investor in your town can introduce you to all those people. So go put yourself out there. If you're an extrovert, you're gonna love it. If you're an introvert, you just gotta step outside your comfort zone and go out and meet people and make a difference. All right, what is the second reason you think that you are a stud?
Number 2, and not because I am a stud. I have that net worth, but it is not liquid. I'm driving a Toyota Corolla 2009 that
it's
was
worth
flooded.
About $2,000.
It probably isn't even worth $2,000. It's all of that is tied up into property. So I do not want it to come across like I'm some big shot, but I am setting my wife and our kids up for a future in 5 to 10 to 20 years where we can live
and
the life
their
that we
kids
want.
and
Yes.
their kids,
to where we can travel, we can.
That's the generational part of it.
We're setting up. So that $600,000 net worth, none of that is liquid money that I'm able to pull out and buy a huge house or boat, cars.
But in this video, you'll see that Lucas and I did a video
in 5 years
how we pulled out
Yeah.
almost $1 million check by tapping into equity. So you can tap into the equity.
I could tap into, yes.
But you haven't.
But
Yeah.
I'm not
So
going
no one
to.
thinks,
I want to build generational wealth.
no one thinks you actually think you're a stud, because
I
everyone
don't want
knows
that to
that's
come
not
across.
realistic by looking at it. All right, action. That is number 2. You took massive freaking action.
100%. And I think that this might be the biggest thing for any new real estate investor is you can talk about it all day. You can network all day. You can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts.
Grow all the mustaches. You
grow
do
all the
that.
mustaches. Do all of the resource like the calculators and stuff that you can find online. But if you do not take action, you will not build up net worth or equity at all. So you have to take action. And so that was one of my wife and I's things that we did is we were like, you know what, we're going all in. One of the things that I like to remind myself every day, and it sounds so stupid, but I like to say bet on yourself. Like, I'm betting on myself that we're gonna take action and it's going to work. And so every single day we're buying houses, we're betting on ourselves, like that we can figure this out. And it's really scary, I get it, because right now with our 13 houses, and I know you're probably in $10 million worth of debt, or not debt, but have, like with our houses, we're coming in on $2 million worth of debt, even though there's an asset that backs that, which is scary to think about. Like, but my wife and I, we've put it this way, where we've kind of thought through the worst case scenario. Like, what happens if we don't succeed and we don't make a profit on any of these properties, and we put in all of this work for nothing, and we have to sell these houses for what we owe on them? All of a sudden, we're back to being 29-year-olds that are
without
starting
any money or
like,
properties. Yeah.
But like, that was where we were at a year ago. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. And so we're kind of going for it, and we're taking action, and we're buying houses, and if deals come up that present themselves, we're gonna buy them every single time, and we're not gonna be scared to. And I think that that's gonna pay off for itself in the long run. And we are running around like chickens with our heads cut off sometimes. We are putting in the work, we are stressed out, but we just believe that taking action is going to get us to where we want to be. And so we're going for it.
And you're 100% going for it. And the reason we put them in this order is because you take action either way. Cam's an action taker, and that's why he's been so successful and will continue to be successful. But for those people that aren't quite as aggressive as you, if the first step was networking, remember? So if you get your funding lined up, your contractors lined up, your deal, you network properly, you're more likely to take action because all your ducks are in a row. So if you get that networking, get all your everything in place with the first step, the second step, action, like I said, you take action either way. But for some people that want to have all that in line first, they can network, get everything in line, and then take action. Paralysis by analysis can definitely hurt people to a certain extent.
Well, and another quote that I think about all the time is, I think Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets said this, but I was listening to a podcast once, and he said the only people that he has ever made that don't make it in real estate are the ones who never started or the ones who've stopped. And he's like, if you consistently do this.
You're giving away the third one, number 3. Here's a 3 icon.
I did not mean to do that,
will be somewhere up here. Number 3 icon. Go. Consistency.
But if you consistently, and this goes into taking action, but if you take action and then you consistently do what you've set out to do, like, you're going to succeed. I believe that with all of my heart. Like, if you're buying properties, whatever your formula is, where ours is 75% of the ARV minus repairs, and you're buying those consistently, you're running your numbers right, and you're just continually doing that time and time again, and you're not buying outside of your buy box, but you're consistently sticking into your buy box, and you're consistently doing it over and over again, you're going to succeed. Like, I truly believe there's no way that
especially if you have your first 2 steps in order and just have that, it's one of our core values at our companies is courage to persevere. If you have that courage to persevere and consistently put in the work that's needed, it's going to happen. Like you said, you just have to consistently do it.
Well, like this summer, for instance, if you're watching this, you probably know this, maybe you don't, but the real estate market was super, super hot. And my wife and I, we wanted to buy a ton of houses this summer, and we were still fortunately able to do that, but we were putting in offers over and over again that we were getting beat by them. But we stuck to our buy box. We stuck to exactly what we knew that we wanted to, and we didn't overpay for houses, which I think a lot of people out there were overpaying because the market was so hot, but we consistently stuck to what we wanted, and we ended up buying a great 6-pack and then 2 houses, one in Maplewood, one in Florida.
There's not a 6-pack there, so you have to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have a 6-pack. I wish I did. That was 3 years ago.
When Cam talked about buy box, it is basically a set of parameters that you use to purchase your properties on. If you say that I buy houses in any condition in any part of town, guess what? You're going to buy 0 houses because you're just going to kick so many tires and never, they'll bring you deals. Whoever's bringing you the deals, wherever you try to find them, it's just too much. So having a buy box, having a specific location on style and age and condition and area of town, house, is your buy box, your avatar. It's super important to have that. And I have videos, video up here actually, where I explain how to define your buy box and how to explain to other people what your buy box is so they'll remember you next time. So check out the video also.
Yeah.
The 3 things that have made you successful and will continue to make you successful apply, in my opinion, in any type of business that just happens to be real estate. You'd be successful in anything you did. You were successful in the ministries before you got into this. So having this mind, well, yeah, financially successful, a little different. We both know that's not a huge money maker. But so networking. Figure out your network, get to know people, put yourself out there, line up everything in the first place at the beginning. Any way to wrap that one up?
With networking, I would just say, get out there. Wherever you are, I promise you there are real estate meetups almost every single night. You can get to them, make sure you get to them, print off business cards, print off a sheet of paper with your phone number and a picture of your face on it and give it to people. Just get out there and start networking. And you're gonna do that, and you're gonna build up a great team of people that are gonna feed you deals, that are gonna give you the top end contractors. Just get out there and network.
I love it. And part of that, like you said, is getting out and doing it, which brings us to number 2, action. Taking massive action, putting yourself out there, being disciplined enough to take action and understand the risks versus the reward, and actually doing it is super important. Anything to wrap up on action?
Yeah, like I said during the video, one thing that I live by is bet on myself. I'm betting that I can do it. And if you're watching, like, bet on yourself. Bet that you can go out there and you can buy houses, you can make money doing it. I think we live in such a fearful world of we're afraid that we're going to fail. And you can never really truly live that way. You can never truly make money that way.
Well, you can never truly live if you live that way. You're never truly living if that's always what you do.
Exactly. And so bet on yourself. Don't be afraid to fail. I don't think you will in real estate if you take the.
If you watch our YouTube channel, there's no way you'll fail if you subscribe to our YouTube and watch.
Go for it.
All right, awesome. And number 3, consistency. Just being consistent and disciplined and doing what you say you're going to do and consistently doing it.
Day in, day out. Wake up, find deals, run numbers, run comps, make offers. And if you don't find a deal your first week or your first month, continue doing it, because you're gonna find deals, and those are just gonna snowball into you having 20, 30, 40, 100, 200 rental properties and a lot of money.
Awesome. So if anybody got any value out of this video, what should they do, Cam?
You should subscribe to the FasterFreedom YouTube channel. It is amazing, and it will take you in depth on how to network, how to connect, how to be consistent, how to run deals. It'll take you through all of that. So subscribe to the FasterFreedom YouTube
Look at
channel.
you doing good. Now you got to toss it there and hit it.
Hey.
Hit it. There you go. All right.
There we go. Amazing. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now.
Hit that subscribe button for sure. Before we wrap up, let's talk about that giveaway I talked about earlier.
I want to hear about it. I don't know much about it.
So what the giveaway is, if you comment on any of our videos from here until the end of the year, we're recording this in mid-September, so anywhere from here to the end of the year, if you comment on our videos, your name will go into a virtual hat, and at the end of the year, we're going to pull a name out of that hat, and that person will have access to everybody in this office for an entire day. Myself, Lucas, Brian, Debbie. You can talk about property management, we can talk about wholesaling, we can talk about marketing, negotiating, flipping, wholesaling, whatever you want. We have a team of over 20 people here in our office, and you have access to myself and our entire team for a full day to focus on you growing your business. How much would you pay for that?
You know what? I would pay a lot of money just to sit and stare at my mustache for an hour.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Cam can be there. So.
I'll be there. I will have it nice and ready for you. But comment, subscribe. That's amazing. I mean, that could legitimately, a day with you guys could completely change something.
And all you have to do is comment on the videos and start it with this one for sure.
Yeah, because not to give you too much credit, but when we sat down and had breakfast that one day, I didn't know what I was doing in real estate. Now that's my career, and I made a lot of money from it. So it really could be life-changing. So make sure, subscribe, and comment.
Love it. Good job.
Now we are recording. About this mustache. Before we started recording, we were talking about how great my mustache looked, about how sexy I am, about how I'm 6'4", Sam is only 6'1", just to get all of that out.
Forgot all the way. What's going on? I'm sitting here with Cam, who is a stud real estate investor in his first year of real estate investing. What? Did I say wrong? Or what? His stash?
You can't even see his face when you point to him. He's got a big coffee cup right.
I got embarrassed. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So something like, what?
Dang mustache on
I know.
Does it look good?
Calling all new real estate investors. Hello. Hello.
What's up, real estate investors? My name is Cameron. This is my mentee, Sam Prim, and today
I think I'm the mentor. You're the mentee. You got to get better.
That was terrible.
You gotta,
That was
mine
terrible.
was so much.
Yours was actually good. You've done a lot.
I'll go
but first
again.
here,
I'll go again.
what's up,
Worse than me,
YouTube video?
but start over. Calling all new real estate investors. Hello. Hello. See, Cam, you would not be good on TikTok if you're not going to be this silly. All right.
Calling all real estate investors. Hello. Hello. New real estate investors.